Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of EETV, where I try to bring everything and entertainment. And today we will be focusing on Sydnee Bloodruth, the mystical character that made her debut in ISOM number 2. We're going to get into her powers, some of them that have been confirmed, and some of them we have to speculate on because we haven't seen enough information to confirm whether some of these abilities are something she's able to do or not. So let's begin. The first obvious power that she has that you see is also shown on the cover. Looks like it might be red lightning, but it's not red lightning. It's blood manipulation. Sydnee Bloodruth has the ability to manipulate her and other people's blood or other beings' blood. She can utilize this blood to make solid objects like platforms, but only something that she can touch. And this is shown in ISOM number 2 when Bloodruth helps ISOM save Sam, and they have to jump off the cliff at the same time because he has to hit the blood platform at the same time as Sydnee Bloodruth, or otherwise he'll fall through it. And this is explained to Sam. So the only way they can have someone else touch the platform at the same time if they make simultaneous contact with the blood, which I find that pretty cool. What has not been seen in here is whether or not she can use that blood to make solid weapons. Since she's able to make platforms, that'll be interesting to see if she can make solid weapons like knives or sickles or things of that nature, or daggers. One thing that is confirmed in the comic book is she can ignite the blood to make explosions, and she can also charge that power, so she can either make a small explosion or big explosions. Though if she makes the bigger explosions, it seems to tire her out, and it also seems that if she uses her blood manipulation powers enough times in a row, that it tires her out. So it leads me to speculate, and this is speculation here, is that this is her own blood that she's manipulating. And I wonder if the blood magically appears, since she seems to have mystic abilities, if it magically appears back in her body, or something that has to be replenished over time. That has not been confirmed yet, but the continual use of her powers does seem to drain her. Also, she's able to sense interdimensional activity. She tells ISOM that there's been some interdimensional activity, and that she was able to slay one of these, what they call Hellions, the beast that attacked ISOM, about 50 miles north of here. What has not been speculated is the range of that ability. So if she was able to slay that creature and it was 50 miles north of here, that's just a small range of her powers. I wonder if that's the absolute range. Probably not. The way she spoke about it nonchalantly is probably not even nowhere near close the range she has. I think maybe as long as someone appears on the planet Earth inside the Rippaverse from a different dimension, she may be able to sense it. And what I can speculate is this: you can compare it to that when somebody comes through the portal. Think of it like when someone comes through the portal, like someone dropping a stone inside of a lake. How it may take a while for the vibrations to get to the shore, and the shore is a metaphor for the senses of Sydnee Bloodruth, and I think that's how she's able to sense it. I'm just using that as a metaphor. I don't know, just speculating here. But it would be interesting to find out what may be in the origin story that Eric July may come up with, to see how quickly she's able to sense this interdimensional activity. What is the range? And is she able to pinpoint it? Which means if 3 beings come in, does she know that 3 beings came in interdimensionally, or she just sensed the ripple? So I would like to see an origin story with her, just to get more into her powers. The other power that we're able to see in this book is maybe her most interesting one. She has the ability of atmospheric manipulation. she's able to manipulate the atmosphere and to turn things that are not tangible. And she says this because when it comes to going to other dimensions, she says, think of the other dimensions like pocket dimensions that exist, but you're not able to walk up there and access it. But she's able to access it through atmospheric manipulation and make what isn't tangible, like being able to cross into that world until you reach another tangible object. And she also states that when she travels to these different dimensions, that sometimes she's able to obtain gifts. Now, I wonder if these gifts are something that are given to her because of her specific physiology, and she's able to attain these gifts because think of like Superman, how he's, because of his physiology, the radiation from our sun gives him his unnatural abilities because Krypton's sun is red. But I think of Sydnee Bloodruth because of her physiology and her being from the Rippaverse's Earth. When she contacts and dimension jumps through atmospheric manipulation and goes to these other worlds, the side effect is her obtaining certain gifts because her physiology is so different than the other beings that actually reside in that home dimension, and thus she's able to increase her power through different ways because of her atmospheric manipulation when she visits these other realms. Now we see that because at one point when Gideon sends ISOM to visit Sydnee Bloodruth, he is attacked by a few alligators. He's attacked by a raven, what I can only speculate as a raven, but I'm saying it's a raven because ravens are bigger than crows, and that bird was really big, so I'm speculating it's a raven. He's also attacked by wolves, which turned out to be shadow wolves because they can turn into shadow, and then the wolf forms out of the shadow, and a dragon. And she said that these abilities were gained because of her going to these other dimensions. Now, she said it was a gift. Now, this is only speculation there, only speculation. One thing I noticed in ISOM number 2 is that when the shadow wolves were present before, when they were fighting ISOM, and then later on in the battle against the Hellions, when they rescued Sam from the cave, that their eyes were always active. They were always shining. So it leads me to believe like the wolves may not be, they might be a power that's manipulated and they're not completely sentient. And this is somewhat confirmed. Now I say somewhat because it could change, because Bloodruth tells Sam that he was smart enough to bring them with him, which means that Sydnee Bloodruth did not bring the shadow wolves with her. The dragon did, because that's the only person that was there, because ISOM doesn't have that ability. So the dragon is able to, I guess, maybe have the shadow wolves go inside of his shadow, and then they can travel with him. And there's a point where a panel where the dragon is looking at ISOM, and you can see his eyes, and you can tell there's intelligence in those eyes. Like the dragon is sentient. So it leads me to believe that maybe the dragon and Sydnee Bloodruth share some type of either psychic ability where they can speak to one another, or maybe the dragon can actually use human speech, but he just didn't do that around ISOM because the dragon didn't know ISOM. And I have to keep calling the dragon because the being looks like a dragon and a name wasn't given yet. So I have to call the being the dragon. So we do know it's a he, and we do know the dragon's intelligent, and we do know that I guess him and Sydnee Bloodruth share the ability to able to summon the shadow wolves, but the shadow wolves, in order for them, I guess, to be summoned through great distances, well, not great distances, in order for them to be summoned in a different area, you have to take them with you. which means if they're shadow wolves, I guess they go into your shadow. Who knows? I mean, we'll see whether if that's the case, or is that ability that is only something unique to the dragon, maybe. But oh no, I'll take that back, because he said he was smart enough to bring it with him. So that gives us either two things: either both of them have the ability to have the shadow wolves travel with them, or maybe only the dragon has it. So I guess we'll find out in a later issue. But those are two things that we can speculate. Sydnee Bloodruth, through her obtaining gifts when she went to go visit the other dimensions, it seems that she also has psychic connection to other animals. So we don't know. Those alligators look like alligators. They didn't look like another being. So maybe that was one of her abilities that she obtained through going to these other dimensions, that she's able also to either control or communicate with the animals of Earth as well. So we can speculate that control or communicate doesn't mean she's actually controlling them or communicating with them. We don't know. So that's why I said only two options. She's either controlling them or she's communicate with them and asking them for a favor. So that's something that we have to find out in a later issue, whether to see which one is true. Now, those are the powers that are displayed in ISOM number 2, which they were great. Now, one other thing I want to talk about before I close this video is the atmospheric manipulation. Now, is the atmospheric manipulation something a part of her physiology, her powers that she's able to do? Or since it seems that Sydnee Bloodruth is a mystical character, does she have to, either with the aid of her powers or without the aid of her powers, is she using some sort of spell casting or special items in order to achieve this atmospheric manipulation? We don't know. That's what I want to know as well. And this is very interesting. A wide range of powers. Oh, one other thing that we see here is not necessarily a power, but it's something just to watch out for. Sydnee Bloodruth, when her powers are active, her eyes glow red. So that's when you know she's she's currently using her powers or have them at the ready, because her eyes glow red. What do you think about Sydnee Bloodruth's powers? Is there something that I perhaps missed? What do you think about her ability of atmospheric manipulation, her blood manipulation, and the gifts that she obtained through visiting other realms? Would you think she'll be able to go to take other individuals into the realm? Do you think this is a power that may have been passed down from generation to generation, like it's hereditary? I think it is. And I wonder if she can use that blood manipulation to make weapons. Well, we'll speculate all about this. Like, share, and subscribe if you feel like it. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching, everybody. Take care.